actually is a great lead in. So what do you guys all do when you just need to MS out and just say, I got to get out? Because I know, Tyler, a lot of your talks, so a lot of your stuff is like my stuff. So it's like, it's MS all the time. So a lot of my stuff is I'm invited to a podcast. I'm invited to be a guest speaker. I'm invited, and Julie, you are too. So a lot of you are. And Chris, I don't know how much talking you're doing now, but I know you're going to get invited to more stuff. So we're talking, it's MS. So at some point you got to get together, and it can't be MS, because that's not any sexy talk. So there's got to be some fun stuff that you just say, F you MS, we've got to go have some fun. We've got to get this off our minds. So whoever wants to go first, go for it, unmute. And what do you guys do when you got to get that off your plate, kids away, and just have some fun? And MS is not here.
Well, we have a lot of, we don't have any kids together, yet, so.
I know, because she wants one, so you best get going.
I was going to say, you said yet, and she didn't flinch.
No, she's like,
I was staring right at her when you said that. She didn't even blink. So
I mean, I'm being honest, she's right here, so I'm being honest. But yeah, we don't have any kids together yet. I have 2 boys, but we're so alike. Like it's just so cool because, and this is my first marriage. I've never been married. I waited to my 40s to be married. When I got married, what, 44. So I didn't never think I was going to be married, but when I married exactly what I like, exactly what I like, So I didn't really care if she wanted to be married, because when I met her, I was like, this is exactly what I like. So I literally arranged my life to be with this woman. And like I said, I proposed to her quick. We was engaged in 6 months. I was on one knee in 6 months, and we got married in a year, because she was exactly what I liked in a person. You know what I'm saying? So and so we do everything together. And as soon as I proposed to her, we moved in together, and then COVID hit.
Oh yeah.
COVID hit. So now we got to spend every single day together, like every day. I mean, every minute. And that could have, we so knew that could have broke us.
Oh yeah.
That could have broke us. We were like, man, I'm sick of seeing you. You know what I'm saying? But it was like, man, we was together. We couldn't go to the gym. So we literally we was in this 2-bedroom apartment in Alhambra, California at the time. That's South Pasadena for people that don't know where is that. But we was in Alhambra, California, and we put a gym. We bought gym equipment and put it on our patio, and we used to go out there and work out together. So we were so alike with each other. So the gym is our outlet. I met her at a bodybuilding competition that I was sponsoring. So her registration fee came to me. She paid me to be in my show. So it was like, oh wow, like she had all the F's. And me, I look for a female that got all the F's, all 3 F's. Fit, feminine, and friendly. Those are all. That's what I look for in a female. She has to have all 3 F's.
What was the first one?
Fit. You have to be fit. Because I'm bodybuilding. I've been competing since 2007.
Right.
15 years of stepping on stage and being judged for my body.
Right.
So I met her at a competition. That was her first show. And she got killed. She did. She got killed. The girls killed her, but I was like, she's so cute. You know what I'm saying? So,
but probably helped, Chris, that you had a registration, which means you had her address. You knew her bank account because you had a check and or a credit card of hers. So it's.
I mean, but I said that. It's a gym.
Oh, she's got something to say to you. She's getting hot.
I was like, what was the question that she asked?
Right.
Like, what's your outlet?
He done lost the question. She
feel like we got to stay on script. We got to stay right here in the line.
No, I promise you don't.
All over the place. You know what I'm saying? So
you do not have to stick to the script. You can just go off. But I love it, Nabila, that you are on it. You are on it.
So I do have to know, like, if Nabila had any.
Our outlet is the gym. It's the gym.
I like it. Go ahead, Julie. What were you asking?
I have to know, Nabila, did you have any hesitation because of MS or just his personality? No, I'm just kidding.
The one thing he did ask me was like, my father gave me the talk. He said, are you sure you want to be with this man? He has 2 kids and he has MS. Which means that if you marry him and he stops, walking tomorrow, like you cannot leave him. You're stuck with him, because I would not allow you to leave him. If you marry him, that is it. It's a commitment for the rest of your life. And I was like, yes. He said, okay. And then he never asked again. And obviously my parents adore him and all my family adores him.
That was a good question, though. That was a good question. Because when she met me, I was at 3% body fat when she met me. I mean, I was shredded.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So here I am, this anatomy.
I'm like, you're sitting down, so you could be 3% right now. I don't know.
I mean,
just look him up on you. Look up it on Instagram.
Like, I am totally 3% body fat.
I get crazy though. I get absolutely crazy when because I'm a competitor. Yeah. I've never trained. I've never worked out for nothing. I have to have a date for something. If I had to just work out to be in shape, I wouldn't do it. I'll sit at home and eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches all day. I mean, like,
Hey, don't knock peanut butter and jelly
Right?
sandwiches.
I
I
love
like
me a
those.
PB&J. I'm
I'm
old
like,
school.
I feel like this is what I eat every day. What is wrong with peanut butter jelly?
I mean, I'm just saying, like, but you know, when I can't just work out.
No, I'm with
I
you,
have to have a
Chris.
goal. I can't just,
Me too.
oh, I'm going to the gym today because I want to be healthy or be in shape. I've been in shape my whole life.
Yeah.
So that's easy.
But when you got diagnosed, it did help.
Right.
To
Yeah.
have
It
that.
humbled me.
Yeah, it humbled
No,
me.
I agree with you, Chris. That's exactly where I am. Like working out became much bigger for me when I was diagnosed than ever. I always loved working out in sports and any ball I get my hand on, football. Even if they said I couldn't, I was like, I can too. But when I got MS, it was like, well, that's different. So
yeah, it just means more now to me.
Yeah.
You know, I when I was diagnosed and I couldn't walk, I was in a wheelchair and I did all that. You know, I did all that. And I remember my first neurologist. I wish I could. I've told you this on the podcast before.
Mhm.
You know, when we did the podcast the other night, my first neurologist walked in and said, "Oh, you're not going to walk again. Don't worry about that." That's what he told me.
Yeah.
Tubes in both arms, catheter in my thing, and I'm like, you know, I'm looking at this dude can't stop having seizures, and I'm like, are you serious? So my whole drive is to prove people wrong.
Did you invite him to your last competition?
Say again?
Did you invite him to your last competition?
I can't remember him. I can't.
I wish so bad you would.
I remember his face. I remember his face. You know, and I know we're gonna talk about this later, but you know, I had back surgery. A year ago. You know, a year ago. And they wrote me off. They wrote me off again. They wrote me off again. Oh, you're not going to compete again.
Yeah.
Oh, you're done.
And you did it again.
Come on now, talk to me nice. They got to talk to me nice now.
Yeah.
You tell
How
me
many
what I
since
can't
then?
do. You can't. You tell me what I can't, and I'm gonna show you I can.
That's right.
No matter what. And I got a great support system right
So,
now.
Nabila, how did you feel when that happened? Did you support him and say, nope, you're going to do it again?
Yeah, so when he first got diagnosed, I wasn't with him. His back surgery, I convinced them to do it.
She convinced me to do
Because
it.
he was not he wasn't living, good. He was always in pain, and he was always like, saying mind over matter, and I'm okay being in pain, but he wasn't. He was uncomfortable. Like, sometimes when you sit down and you're just uncomfortable, everything hurt him, and he couldn't enjoy having his son around because his son wanted to play. So I said, let's just go and let's find out what this back surgery is all about. And I convinced him. We did it, and he stuck to they told him not to work out for a month, but he was working out after 2 weeks.
I was in the gym 2 weeks later.
He did
with a brace around my waist.
Right, I have no doubt.
Yeah, he didn't overdo it, but I think that just speaks on how much he believes of himself, and really just like he said, all the odds that he has overcome. So I just try to remind him that it's not it's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
Right.
So
absolutely,
try to remind him that because he wants to.
That's good. I like it.
Yeah, I think I try to mellow him down as much as I can.
I like it.
So Adam, what is your vent, or what is the thing that you kind of do to DMS?
Who were you asking?
Oh,
You.
no, the topic is that what each of us do as caregivers when we feel that we need a kind of a vent or an outlet away from the MS.
Honestly, it's gonna sound lame, but when she exhausts herself and I can't stop her from exhausting herself as much as it almost does more harm than good to be like, slow down, stop, because she gets, she'll silently suffer. And if I show her that I recognize that she needs to slow down, she gets not angry about it, but she gets more like, no, I don't. Now I'm going to go do the dishes. Now, don't tell me what to do. Type of thing. Very stubborn. And so when we put Jack down at night, I'll usually I'll do the brushing the teeth, all that kind of stuff, and I'll read him a story, and then she'll go and she'll do stories with him, and she'll usually pass out. And my thing is
tired at 8 o'clock. I'm done.
And I can't fall asleep.
I'm up from 6:30. So
right, she's mom from the minute she wakes up to the minute she goes down. And so honestly, I just don't go wake her. And I'll take that time to, I'll scroll, I'll go play video games with my friends. I sort of take that time as kind of a reset.
Good.
And it doesn't really have to do with the MS thing. It has to do, because I don't see her as a partner with MS. I see her as a partner,
Yeah.
So to take that time for yourself, I think is really important. I just have a nice little built-in section that she exhausts herself, and that's your fault.
Yeah.
I'm done. But last night I put Jack to bed, and we're talking, and he was like, I don't have school tomorrow, so we can stay up all night and talk. And I'm like, yeah, totally, we can do this. And we're talking, his stories are amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, amazing. So we're having this conversation. I was like, so can we just save it for tomorrow? And he was like, no, there's more.
He's like, don't wake up at 5:30. We'll be talking about it.
Okay, one eye. I'm like, please, I'm so tired. Yeah, but MS doesn't turn off for me every day.
No.
I don't. I know people are like, oh, I have MS, but it doesn't have me. It has
Right.
me. It does.
Oh yeah, girlfriend.
I mean,
I know people love to say that, but I'm like, I don't know how it doesn't have you. It has me. I
It
work
has
my
me.
butt off, but it has me.
I gotta
for
tell you,
sure.
everyone has something. He has epilepsy. My mom has dementia. And I think what I've learned with MS is just to look at everyone and realize that everyone has something.
Yeah.
we know Lance, but I don't know what he has, but I know there's something going on there.
Right.
Yeah, I have a new hip.
Nabila, like, I know you
Yeah.
look absolutely gorgeous and you're
Right.
probably fine, but there might be something going on there. Like, everyone has
Right.
something. So I think
Yeah.
that to me is like, yeah, I don't take a day for MS because every day is MS.
No,
Right.
You take one day. You take one day.
So I don't know. My mom has dementia and this is my like Friday night. So I'm having wine just so you guys know.
Oh, I'm about to dig into, I do my
Um,
one Pinot Noir, so that's my one.
Is
No,
that a bong? No, I'm just kidding.
I agree. I think that it's, I think that that was really well said, Julie. And I think that it can be really tricky, to do that. And I know that I give Lance a hard time. I want to do everything. I want to be there for the kids. I want to make sure I'm there for every client. I want them to feel that they're extremely special because they all have either MS or something, more than that. And I want to make sure that they're loved. So, I guess my other question would be for you guys is, I want to know what is the funniest thing that has happened between the two of you since you've been together with an MS crazy thing. And you got to be honest, whether it's you've been somewhere and you peed your pants, or it could be you peed your pants during sex, or I don't care what it is. I just want to know the funniest thing that's happened in an MS moment between the two of you. I don't care who goes first.
I'll go.
Okay, go.
He never shuts up. No, I love him.
This one's embarrassing on me. So one thing, and you guys know that bowel and bladder for MS is a very big thing. And that's it's a crippling concern for her. Okay. And so when we got, I got a car back in New York just for my business. It was just a crappy-
She's like, wait.
I can't believe you're telling the story.
Right, I was gonna say, we
actually
asked this
thought-
question, it's just like, we gotta figure out, who is this funny for?
I actually can't believe he's telling the story, but okay.
And then I honked at a guy, and that was
Julie, there's more wine, trust me.
More wine.
There's more
We'll
wine.
send it to you.
I got whiskey in here, so I'm good.
No, this
Okay.
is his embarrassing. This is the
Yeah,
whole.
that's what they wanted to know.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, go for it,
Okay,
Adam.
so yeah, like I said, it's a crippling concern for her, even just getting in the car, because where's the next bathroom? That's always a thing. In New York, you can always at least beg a shopkeeper or find a Starbucks or a McDonald's. And in a car, you can't do that. And especially in New York, because you're either stuck in traffic or you're in a place where people don't want you to go or whatever. And so she was so concerned about taking a road trip, that I was like, what are you worried about? Like, shitting yourself in the car? And she was like, yeah. I was like, I'll poop in the car.
And he did.
Oh, you really did? Just
You
tell.
I really did. I got in the bag. I had a bag. I did it. And I was like, there, now you owe me one. And she still hasn't paid up.
But we went on that road trip.
We went on that road trip and she felt better about
We
herself.
did, and I did not put my pants.
No, because even to this
That's
day, she's like,
awesome.
remember when you shit in the van, but I didn't.
That's awesome, Adam.
That is a
A
true
plus.
story.
Adam is all in, bro. Adam,
All in.
I cannot believe you just told that.
Yo, I respect you to the T. Adam.
Right?
You got it going on, bro.
I was like,
You
I
it
got
going
nothing to
on,
say.
baby.
Like, Tyler, that is golden.
But we did go on that road trip that I would not go on if he had not
That's
done it.
awesome. I love
And we
it.
would have missed an entire amazing road trip if we didn't do it. If he didn't do
So
it.
our
So-
golden retriever has a harness that has poop bags built into it. So we
You and
take
I
it for a
see
walk.
one?
So I'm gonna say, Adam, if I ever see like you with like a poop bag, like coming out of your whatever, I'm gonna know now that has a whole different
The
meaning.
whole meeting.
Well, remember, I just sold it, but it was a dog walking business. So you
Oh,
carry around
right.
bags.
Nice.
You never know where I'm going to go.
Man, I
Oh
was
my
just totally
gosh.
right on top of it,
Right.
right?
I
Oh, that
can't
was
believe
funny.
you told that. I am so.
Oh, I love it. All right, guys, who's next?
Game changer.
Follow
Julie, I
that.
have to say.
All right, Dan and Jennifer, you want to go?
We're like I was like thinking, what's that? She looks like she's
I
got.
just remember, I am 2 inches taller than Dan, and I know y'all are physically fit. I am the unmodel child. I'm the chubby one in the bunch, but I'm heavier than Dan. And when we were dating before we got married, we were up at his apartment and I fell. I fell in his apartment, and here's Dan with his girlfriend who's 2 inches taller, laying splayed out on the floor.
Oh no.
And it was like, oh crap, what are we going to do? So Dan, he's a smart man, honest to God. He got a cardboard box, and he said, maybe if you roll onto the cardboard box, and I can see your face, Kathy, you're like, what the hell? This
I'm
is
like,
not
what?
good." You roll onto the cardboard box, and I'll pull the cardboard box, and I can drag you and then get you closer to a bed, and I can
No.
help you out. Needless to say, we live in a college town, and in his apartment building were some college guys, and he went to their front door and he said, my girlfriend is laying on the floor on cardboard box under her. Long story, but will you help get her up? And so
You didn't even say that I put her on the cardboard box. You just
Well,
said
no,
she's
but-
on it.
Well,
We don't know
well,
why.
details. I needed them to help me, but no, it made sense, right? Because she's in.
Not really.
No, but it's like, because in my head, I'm thinking, well, if you got her to the bedroom, because, she couldn't stand on her own, but I'm thinking, get her on the bed on her knees. So have her arms up on the bed. Well, certainly I could lift her up from her legs and throw her up on the bed, right?
no,
But,
Kathy.
but yeah, the cardboard.
Gosh, Dan, I like you so much, but that one thing just really tripped me up. I'm trying to get you.
But she's safe. You know, I wasn't too proud to not go ask for help.
Right.
That's the big thing. And I always get accused of not knowing when to ask for help, but I did.
I love it. I think that's funny. Very funny. All right, Tyler Campbell, you go, buddy. What you got?
So I'm guilty on numerous occasions.
I hardly can believe that.
No, man, look, man, talking about keeping the bedroom sacred. There are plenty of moments, and my wife will tell you, Chris, Adam, y'all back me up, man. You're like, yeah, babe, we don't go ahead, get the bedroom ready, go do what you gonna do, and your boy about to lay it down. TC coming through. And 8 o'clock, y'all, I'm asleep on the bed. Next thing you know, she go powder up, do what she. I mean, I'm gone. I'm out. I'm like before the conversation, I'm up, y'all. I'm up. When it hits the pillow, it's like I just completely like knock out. Like just it's surprising. I wake up, it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, yo, what happened? And she just be like, you did it again. You did it again. And you don't mean to. I'm in my mind and in my heart, I'm ready.
Yeah.
And I just that pillow. I don't know what it does. It's like
Get a vibrator. It works really quickly.
Yeah.
Hey, but honestly, God, true. Like you did it again. There you go.
2 seconds.
You all talk. You all
Go
talk.
to bed. That's it.
Oh, that's funny, Tyler, but so true. So true. So true. All right, Dunbars, what you got?
So this actually happened like a couple of days ago. We were in the middle of him taking care of me, performing a nice kind gesture for me, and he thought that he needed to pee, but he saw that I was close
About
to reaching a nice place,
That wonderful happy place.
a happy place, and next thing you know, he's like, I'm peeing myself. So he literally started peeing, but he stopped, and then the way he got up and he walked to the bathroom was hilarious because he was trying to hold it from coming out even more. So he was walking like this, and then his butt was like squeezed, and it was just hilarious. Needless to say, nothing else happened because I was laughing and he was embarrassed. It was just funny, but it's like the bladder. Like he has a very weak bladder, and when he has to go, he has to go. And it was funny. We laughed.
Yes.
And, he's like, "Don't ever tell nobody that." And I'm telling
Not just the world.
Terrible.
It's
It's an
We've all
MS.
been there, Chris.
It's all the fun of the
We all do
MS.
it.
So embarrassing. It's like, man.
It's not embarrassing.
But she's so like, I mean, when she's been there for all the bad and all the good and stuff like that. And I said it in my speech when I won my last show. I was just telling people how she is just like she's my everything. I have the best support system in the world. I remember when I came home from the doctor, another embarrassing moment. I came home from the doctor, from my back surgery. I mean, this is fresh from the surgery, and I'm trying to move around. I was in the hospital for like 3-4 days, until they finally released me. And then when they finally released me, I had to get home, and we had to figure out how to use the restroom, and I couldn't. When I had to, go do the number 2, I can't turn to wipe my butt. I can't, because your core is everything.
Right,
People don't understand how your back is so important that it literally your core. So I couldn't wipe my butt.
Right.
I couldn't.
So congratulations. That was now your job.
She did that for me,
Yeah.
and that's why I give her the world. I give her everything, I mean, I just.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I couldn't wipe my butt. That was probably the worst. Oh, you know what? No, the other one was worse. I mean, just to see me.
I don't think so, because if a woman did that, you'd be like, oh, she was squirting.
Yeah. No, I swear.
Yeah.
I'm the one that squirted. It's terrible. No, it's terrible.
No, it's okay.
But she does it.
It's all good.
She's my
Oh gosh, that's awesome. I would say, what would you say? When I know what you're gonna say, when I'm falling asleep and I'm heading upstairs.
Oh, I was thinking that, yeah. Right.
I have
Yeah, I was
all these
thinking
great ideas. Same as you, Tyler. I'm like, I'm so ready. You're so hot. I'm ready. And halfway up the stairs, I'm like, I got him down.
No, well, because Kathy, what I've learned about MS is that there's a group of people with MS, sleep is a big issue, right? Across the board. So you either can't sleep or you are sleeping all the time. And Kathy is in the can't sleepers, right? So what we've come to learn is that Kathy's tolerance for things that need to help her sleep, for this little lady, we need a tranquilizer dart pretty much
For a horse.
for like an elephant to put her out.
Or an elephant, thanks.
Well, I mean, I'm okay, horse, elephant, whatever. So she's so funny is that even when like the
fight is there.
And mind you, yeah. So we also try to get off of the standard pharmaceutical bull crap that all the people with MS get. The doctors, it's so easy. And one of the things we can even have a whole other podcast about is that what I learned coming into the MS community, becoming a caregiver, going to the doctor's appointments is that the neurologist, all they got is they got their doctor's degree so that they could they know what drug to give out. It was just amazing to me. So we would go to the doctors, like, oh, that isn't
That
working.
is so true. I'm sorry, I
Okay,
just had to tell you. They just want to push medication on you. You're right.
Oh,
Go ahead, sir.
that doesn't work. All right, well, let's try this. Well, let's try that.
But you
Let's-
should
let's-
all Google your neurologist and see like where their kickback is.
Oh,
Right,
yeah.
and it's like crazy.
You can
It's
see
like
who gets what.
Yep.
the name of these drugs. It's like, oh, we'll just put you on Levetirafardalis a lot. And I'm like, where do these drugs come from? Like, I've never heard of these things before. And these guys rattle them off like they're like, now I know why these commercials you watch during the Super Bowl of these companies, and it's like, ask your doctor about blankety blank. I'm like, I'm not going to ask my doctor about blankety blank. Like, now I know why. But anyway, so Kathy, we're trying to move her off of that. We're into medical CBD and THC. We're doing a lot of research on it. Kathy's interviewed on her podcast a couple of big experts on it, and we've done an unbelievable amount of research on it.
But as you know, it's like the Wild West.
Right.
So sometimes you try it and it's a little too heavy and you're like,
Right.
so I'm like,
So
that didn't work.
It's trying to get this, we're getting off of the mainstream meds onto something that's more herbal and natural. So there's this blend of stuff that's happening right now, but it's still very, very strong. And so, Kathy will be fine with watching TV. I'm looking over at her.
And I'm talking sexy.
I can, yeah, either that or I could see she's like, oh, I'm so into this episode, wherever we're binge watching at the time, and like, watch another one. Oh, the funny one is that she'll go make popcorn.
Oh, yeah.
And then we'll get down, she'll make the popcorn, set the popcorn down, she'll get one hand of popcorn done, and she'll be out. But so even when she wants to fight so hard to like get more into the day, she'll be like barely staggering, trying to get her up the stairs because finally the meds have kicked in, and trying to get her upstairs into bed. And she's like, no, we've got to do the blank. And it'll be something out of I'm like, what? Some crazy thing that was like never on our list to do. We never talked about it. And she's just like, no, I got to do this. So, and one of the other, so that's one of the funny MS things. One of the other funny things, and Nabila, you kind of get this a little bit, is the MS thing and Kathy's thing with names.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I'm
name
so
things.
bad with
So,
names.
and one of the funny things is that she interviews a ton of people on her podcast.
It'll be on my bloopers.
So I swear to God, I told her, I said, I am going to edit down a blooper reel of you mispronouncing
Everybody's name.
on the podcast.
Everybody.
And one of the
Everybody.
funniest ones was
Oh, the doctor?
Kathy interviewed Dr. Feinstein, and he's one of these preeminent neurologists, and he's written some very prominent books and specific to diet and MS and all these other things. And he's very English and very proper. And Kathy just keeps hitting this guy, wrong name. And I could just see this guy like.
I was like, I'm so sorry, but I just kept seeing you in with Lion Witch in the Wardrobe. And he's like, I'm like, and that's just kind of how I pictured you. And I'm just sorry, we should probably go now.
Yeah.
But it's MS. It's just, we're a little nutty.
Yeah, so that's my thing. I was thinking of making the funny reel and then getting the people to play along to make in the video on YouTube,
Yeah.
this exacerbated face after Kathy mispronounces their name. Yeah.
So
So
I apologize for all that.
You should talk to Montel Williams about CBD because he's on the East Coast.
Yeah. I watched
He's
a lot
like a
of his
really
stuff.
big proponent of it. And now he has his own line.
Yes. Yeah, he
He's
does.
been using it since the 90s and it's really
Yeah.
been effective for him. So
Yeah. Yeah. I read a lot of his stuff on it. I'm trying to get him on an interview, darn it.
he's
So if you
so
hear
kind.
this,
He's very kind and
Yeah,
very
he is.
supportive of the MS community. So
no, he really is.
You might have to go on his, you might not come on yours, but.
yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
How often do everybody take medication? For all the MSers here. How
So
often-
I do Rituxan now.
you
But I
talking
just,
about DMTs or just other types of meds?
No, the meds just for your MS. That's all I'm asking for. That's all.
I do
Mine's
Rituxan.
Ocrevus. So is
Okay.
yours every 6 months, Julie? Or is it?
it's every 6 months. Yeah.
Okay.
It used to be twice, but my neurologist here, who was so great. I love you. It used to be every 2 weeks.
Every
6
6 months, 2 weeks
Weeks
apart.
apart. Yes.
Okay.
For a year.
For a year.
And then Dan and Jennifer, what do you guys?
We're a combination of you and Julie. I take Rituxan and Dan takes Ocrevus.
Okay. And then Tyler, what are you on?
I'm
Ocrevus?
old school Tysaveries.
Oh man, I want that back again.
I started with every 6 weeks. I used to do
I
that.
miss that.
No JC virus in that blood.
Yeah, knock on wood, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Knock
that
on
was
wood.
my
I did that
favorite.
one. I was on that for 36 infusions and then
Ugh.
JC.
I was on that for 15 years. Loved it. It was my
Yeah.
favorite.
Yeah.
Definitely.
When I was first diagnosed, I was on Tysavery. Then for some strange reason, it stopped working for me. And then I take Avonex now.
Okay, how's that working?
Really?
Yeah, I take Avonex once a week, every week.
You
Okay.
like it?
I hate it.
My sister's on. My sister's on Avonex.
Yeah, I take Avonex once a week. And,
Yeah.
and you know what? They give Avonex to people that's heroin addicts, So
I'm surprised that they would put you on
Do Ocrevus.
Avonex after Tysabri because Tysabri is so potent, and to put you on something lighter
lighter.
just seems a little weird.
They were
Do
talking
do
about
Ocrevus.
a daily pill. but we're waiting for the neuro.
What is it?
I forgot the name.
Jelenia?
Teeth.
Oh,
Trifecta.
Tecfidera.
Tecfidera.
There you go. Good job, girl.
Dude,
Look up,
Chris,
look some more
Chris,
information
I have
up
to
on
tell
that.
you, your stomach.
Yes, it's really tough on the
Tecfidera.
stomach.
Stay near a bathroom for the first 3 months.
You what now?
If you go on Tecfidera, stay near a bathroom for the first 3 months.
It's a really tough one, Chris. Check
It's a
that
tough
one out a
on
little
your
bit more.
tummy.
Yeah,
Just
they're
do a
trying to.
Previs, man. Anyone like Jennifer. I'm also progressive, so Rituxan, but I don't understand why it's like not Rituxan or Previs, the most effective ones.
I
Do it.
think we're on Rituxan because it's cheaper.
I know. I love Rituxan. It's the only thing
I
that
do
slows this thing down.
I would, Chris, I would ask them about Rituxan or Ocrevus.
We just
rather
went to
than-
the neurologist, right? We a few months ago, a couple months ago, and he said my MS is quiet.
That's good. That's good.
Good.
That's
He said
good.
it's
That's all we
quiet,
want.
but so hear my dumb butt. So now I'm like, oh, let me. I don't even take the medication. I started to push the medication a little bit longer, and then my vision started going crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't be dumb.
So I'm like, okay, I'm stupid. I gotta try it out. You know what I'm saying? I'm dumb. So so that's just me. She be telling me, "No, don't do that. Don't do that." So
Don't play with it.
don't play with it.
Don't
So,
mess with that.
So I kind of I said, you know what? So let me stay with this weekly injection, and now I'm straight. But when I take it, I'm like, I'm a
Yeah.
zombie. I'm a
I'm
zombie.
But
obviously not a
honestly-
doctor, but if I
right.
were you, I would talk to them about
Yes,
Ocrevus. I
Ocrevus
don't
or
understand. I
Rituxan.
don't understand why people aren't
Is it
on.
is Ocrevus mild? Is it a milder one?
No, it's not.
So
It's
it's
every
like-
6 months, but it
it's every
doesn't
6
shred
months.
your stomach like Tecfidera does. And Tecfidera,
I see
everybody I've ever
Tecfidera.
spoke to, it really has shred their stomach. And that's why I said absolutely not to that one.
Yeah, he wanted me to take that, but they trying to make sure my liver is good for that.
Yeah,
I had my liver enzymes was a little bit elevated.
Yeah.
So they was like, hold on, we got to make sure your liver stuff is good. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. I appreciate y'all.
Just
Thank you.
research that a little
No,
bit
it's
more.
fine.
I just wanted. That's why I'm glad we're here, so I can ask these
Yeah.
questions to all y'all.
Well, that's the only way you
So,
know,
like,
right?
my
Chris?
sister has MS also, and she has a quiet MS. She had seizures, and then she has like 6 lesions, and then she's been on Avonex and had nothing since that. So
nothing.
it works for her. So that's
Nothing.
it. It works.
That's what I'm saying.
Nothing.
I
And she's
mean,
had it. I'm 16 years. She's had it 14 years, and she's been
oh
fine.
wow.
She is
So
walking,
she's been on
she's got
Avonex ever
kids
since then.
Ever
Wow.
since every
And
meeting,
that me
she's
too. Me
fine.
too. And I'm fine with Avonex. I'm fine.
And
I'm
she's
totally
fine.
fine.
That's it. Like she's
Like,
got that one
the only
night. I
thing-
think it's Wednesday night. She does it, and then she feels like a little bit of garbage the next day.
We do mine
And
on
then-
Saturday or Sunday, and I'm done. But I mean, I'm still able to compete. I'm still able to push
And no
crazy
progression.
weight.
Don't mess with what works. Don't
Yeah.
mess
Yeah.
with it. If it works,
And-
like if you're having if you're getting worse, I'm not a doctor, obviously, then switch. But if you're stable,
It's working.
why are you
It's
messing with it?
Yeah, it's
Chris,
working.
and we-
Go ahead,
Yeah,
Tyler.
I'm gonna tell you this. We talked about this in depth, and we talked about our body types
Mhm.
and how the training for what you can feed an African American body, a Black body, and what it does.
Mhm.
When you go through your medication, you make sure you ask the doctor, what are the statistics for the reactions in Black men and Black women with this drug?
Right.
Because there's still such more of a greater need of research. And
Yes,
so a lot of times for some of the drugs, they still can't figure out why some are more effective in us
yes.
than what they are in others, and some why they are not, especially as the newer drugs are coming more to the fold.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because the case study isn't enough. And so a lot of times while you are trying a medication that for the mass population, they can't figure it out, but it's working a little bit better, even as old or even as less, less, I don't know how I want to say it. It may not work as well for the mass population, but it's working well for you.
Right.
Right.
The reason
Yeah, don't
being
switch.
because, the reason
Yeah.
being is a lot like it's just the body types in our community.
Mhm.
So really, if you can try to get a hold of those numbers, bro.
Yeah.
Because what works for the mass may not necessarily be the one for you, and
Right.
what's working for you doesn't necessarily end up being the one for the mass. That's kind of how it ends up working. And
Yeah.
I say that because I bounced around from various DMTs, and the one I got, literally, I remember going to the doctor's office. Doctor was like, "This don't work. I don't know what to do for you." And that was our conversation. And then it stuck, but he wasn't, he didn't know if it was stiff or not. And crazy it did. So just do that and ask them for the numbers.
Yes.
Ask them to show you something for what it has been for our community. They have something. It may not even be a lot, but they got something while you're going through the reviews of what you're trying to research.
And Tyler, would you echo if they don't, then go to another doctor?
I'm all about second opinion and
Yeah.
third and fourth. I think we're all on the same, on
Yeah.
that same page. I mean,
100%.
it's my body, it's ours, our family. Like,
Right.
To the left.
Yes.
You referenced Beyonce earlier.
Yeah.
It's like I'm going to the next one, but just please,
Yeah.
please do that, because I say that because there's not enough sample size and people are still
No.
trying to figure us out.
Yeah.
As a Black man, as aggressively as it's moving, and still trying to figure out why it is so aggressive in us still in the
Right.
unknown area. Try to get as much information and numbers out of them as you can,
Absolutely.
and fight for it. And
Thank
fight
you for
it.
even saying that,
And-
Tyler. I think
but
it's so
just, but
important.
just do that. Just do that whenever you're going through
That makes sense.
Chris, you and I don't know if we have each other's contact information, but Anne Marie Johnson, she is huge in the MS community, and her and I
Yeah.
hold a monthly podcast together, and she is really huge. We met 14 years ago, and she is on Avanex, and she won't switch because of exactly what Tyler talked about. So if you want, I would love to put you in touch with her because she is
that'd be
amazing.
great.
Yeah.
That'd be
So
great.
obviously, I don't have the same experience that you guys have.
Yeah.
But
You're
I would
not
love
black?
to-
What?
I mean,
She's hands wet.
my son was Tanner says that I want to be.
But Avanex is working. It is working. So Tyler, you got a great point. I appreciate
Yes,
you, brother.
Really good
absolutely.
point, Tyler. I'm sorry.
Avanex
I wasn't
is
cutting you off. I was
freaking,
just trying to.
Avanex is working. Avanex has been working just fine.
Don't change
Yeah.
the works.
So if,
Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
that
so
was
I'm
great
like,
advice.
the only thing I was just, like mad about Avanex is I got to constantly stick myself every week. Pop, 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 pop,
Oh,
pop.
stop being a baby. You're a
Yeah, I mean-
bodybuilder. Good
I mean,
Lord.
she does it. She sticks me.
It's a
So,
day
I
for
mean,
Nabila to look you in the booty.
yeah,
Right.
she sticks me. She sticks me every time, and she
Maybe
makes
she
it.
enjoys that.
And she makes it so pleasurable. Like it's like she does a little thing. She squats down
Gives you a
over
little
me.
piece of candy after.
No, I
little
like how
kiss.
she squats down over me. It's perfect. She squats down and she gives me this. She puts her hand and she talks about something, and, pop, and then it's over.
Because we know how to squat. Girls were born to squat. We have to
Yeah.
squat
Let's
in every
go.
potty we go
Let's
to.
Yeah, it's a perfect little thing that she does.
I
and
love
look
it.
I love it. And then she gets my pills, and I pop my pills, and I'm gone.
Love
I'm out to
it.
sleep. I'm gone.
All right. So for you MSers, what's the one thing if you could give to your caregiver, whatever, your support person? Because it's different, right? It's the person that you love. Julie, it's the person that you love. It's the person that you care about. And you're watching that person do so much for you. And for me, my husband had hip replacement, which I was joking. He was like, I'm so old. I'm like, or you played every sport your whole life. You've been hit in hockey and football so many darn times that your body can only take so much. And your hip has finally said, I'm done. So I've really noticed more than ever during this time, how much he actually does. Like Julie was saying, like the cart to the left, the things that I don't even realize in a day that we just in sync he does for me. And so it's been exhausting. And I'm like, please, Lord Jesus, have him heal, because I don't realize how much this man does for me in a day until he's down. And I want to do everything for him while he's been down, and I'm trying, but I'm like, did I do it? Did I do everything? And I know I've missed something. And I'm like, I'm so tired by the end of the day. So I just want him to have free time and playtime, time with the guys. That's what I would give you. Time with your buddies, just time to go play and have fun. So for their MSers, what would you love to see your significant other just be able to do? That they just may not get enough of, not that they can't do anything, that they're like, you've got this like tethered rope to them and they can't have any fun, but something that you wish they could do more of, I guess.
I don't know what she want to do. I mean, she like being around me. I hope. I mean, we always together. We always together. So it's
Well,
always
Chris, we'll just have to come back to you.
yeah, you gotta come back to me on that one.
All right, Dan and Jennifer, what do you think?
I'm like, I always wait for her. I mean, as far as
Well, this time you have to go first.
her, it's the one thing I want her to do more of.
Yeah.
I mean, that she literally could do more of. I mean, I would love if she, well, obviously I would love if she could walk. I would love if she could go to the bathroom by herself. But I mean, as far as like that, which we are doing, I'd love it if she would have more time to herself. I mean, literally for herself, because I mean, she's always got somebody's like, I work from home, but when I'm working, she has a caregiver here. And so that there's always somebody with her and always doing things. But I'd love it if she'd have a way to be by herself and do just something other than, I mean, obviously she has her phone and she does. I mean, what do half of us do during our free
Right.
time? Play on our phones. But I mean, just
Wordle.
well, that's in the morning. I have to go and see how she did. And, but it is, I want her to be able to just do things by herself. I mean,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
And then Jennifer, what would you say?
Well, if it didn't involve Bruce Springsteen, or it should involve Bruce Springsteen, but I wish that Dan could get massages once a week,
Ooh,
just because he has to lift me. I think one day, Kathy, and he wasn't being sore or sour about it, but he was just curious. I think he helped me. He lifted me like 12 times in one
It was
day,
like
wow.
just an average day. And so I'm thinking that's a lot to ask. I mean, he's got the MS, so I
Yeah.
think just get a massage and just turn his brain off. You know, he
Yeah.
went for a massage this week and he came home and he had the little mark of the table on his
Oh,
face
yeah.
because he was down. He's like, I fell asleep. And I'm like,
Oh,
you deserve that. And I think any of us for our caregivers that we would want something like that.
yeah.
And Jennifer's the one that convinced me. It's like, that a massage is not a luxury for us with MS, and especially for the people who are doing the caregiving. That's part of the self-care, and everybody
Absolutely.
deserves that. Like at least once a month. That's my thing. Is I go once a month only
Good.
for that. Well, but only for that muscle tension. Just easing that out. And so I mean, that's thank you. I will. So, yeah.
Good. All right, Chris, can you think of something that you would like your wife to have that she could do?
I would say that maybe, go visit her mom more in LA, because you just said, Dan, you just said massages, like we go get massages together. That's like mandatory for us, so we go do massages together. We do everything together. So if I had to say for something for herself, it's just maybe go visit her mom more in LA, go see her mom or her parents more in LA. And yeah.
I like that.
That'll probably be the gist
You
of
could bring
it.
them down for a
Okay.
baby baptism or something. I mean.
Yeah.
And then I
Yeah.
like that. Good job. I knew you'd come up with something, Chris. All right, Tyler, did you go, Tyler?
No, I'm simple. Like I really echo the same sentiments. Like my wife is from Cali. My grandmother's in Inglewood, and everybody else is up in the Bay. So no family down here. You know what I'm saying? So she sacrificed from Jump Street, from married. We doing everything in Texas, like coming where I'm. So she didn't have family like that. So if I could have it my way, it would be like as much as I can to be able to send her back home, see her mom, time with her dad, spend time with her sister, her brother. That's it, because we big on family. So I echo the same sentiments. Like, send my baby back to California.
Yeah, I love that. All right, Julie. So the question was, if we could give our caregiver, a support person, because they are the person that we're with, we love them. If we could just give them something in return, if you just say, I want you to have more of this, give them something joyful, what would you give them? What would you like to see them do?
More of her.
More of my robot. No, just I think one day of no burden.
Mm.
And that's not me as a burden, but like in general, life as a burden.
Yeah.
So like whether it be business or career, like my mother, just one day of no burden.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. And that's kind of how I wanted it to end. It's just like that. I love it. Thank you guys so much for doing this. I really wanted an inside look as to what it's like when it's us and then the other caregiver being our support person, being the person living with us that we love, and the tension and the fun and the crazy and all that goes with it. And how do you make it work? And the kids don't go crazy. And how do we make this crazy disease work so that we can stay together? And so all of your stories were so inspirational. And I think that when we talk like this, not only is it so comforting for so many others, but I just did a 3-part podcast for singles and the depression in that they would never find anyone that would want to live with anyone who has this disease. And I was like, let me tell you, I've got a podcast coming up, and there's so many of us that do this together. So this is not I have MS, I'm alone forever. It's I have MS and it kind of sucks, but you're not alone. So
Right.
I love you guys so much. And I'm so glad that you were able to meet who didn't know each other. And
This
Chris,
is
I'm
so
holding you
cool
to
that I
it.
got to meet new people. I mean, Tyler, we talked on the phone 2 years ago.
Yep.
And Dan and Jennifer, I'm stalking you. I don't know you, Chris and Nabila, but now we do. So.
You can add us. You can add me.
I don't know if I want Chris to train me or Nabila to train me, but I know I want to do bodybuilding for sure. If one more person asks me if I'm a yoga instructor, I'm going to punch him in the face.
Wait,
I'm like, I know.
what state is everyone in right now? I know where you are. I know you're in Detroit, but
We're in Arizona.
Arizona.
And you guys are Dan and Jennifer?
We are probably about 3 hours north of Kathy.
Yeah.
Oh, got it.
And then Tyler Campbell?
I'm in Texas. I'm in Austin.
Yes, you are.
Austin. Okay, cool.
Hook 'em horns.
We moved from New York.
You guys
and
are
we
in
just moved to
Colorado?
Yeah.
Oh, Colorado. Okay. I'll be in Colorado next weekend for my son.
Okay.
Yeah, my
Where?
son. Aurora.
Was right by us.
Literally 12 minutes away. Come over for dinner and I will.
Yeah,
meet
you got to
guys
go for
there.
dinner.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there.
I'm
there.
serious.
My baby's he got a wrestling tournament, so I'm going there to help him for.
There you go. Now you got
I'm
dinner.
going there.
I'm dead serious.
Hit me up on IG. We exchange information.
I don't even know what your IG handle is because
I'll send it.
Chris D.
send it to me.
Chris _D_MS.
I'm gonna send it to you. But seriously, are you coming,
Yeah.
Nabila?
Yeah.
No,
She's not coming. I'm flying there one day. I'm just flying in the morning, going to see him wrestle. But I'm gonna be there all day. I don't leave till like 9 at night or something. Yeah, I'll be there all day.
Nabila,
Sounds like a dinner
change the
date.
flight, you come and
I
like,
like it.
you have a place to stay for the night.
I don't know why.
I will feed you. I know how to cook, so.
Do it. And then we'll all get together for a time. Well, I love you guys. This was awesome. I love
Thank
it.
you.
I love doing the fun stuff.
Thank
Tyler, I can't wait to meet your wife.
Thank
Love
you
you
so
guys.
much. Love
Have a
you.
great
Love y'all.
night.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye, guys.